Hello everybody, I'm romance author Lori Thorne. Welcome to my weekly vlog, Good Time Writing, where I fill you in on what's going on in my author life and keep you up to date with different things. You'll get some unsolicited author advice today and I don't know, some interesting things that I can share, not too much of yet, fingers crossed. And I'll have my favorite lines for you to vote on this week in Vote Your WIP. So let's dive right in. I wasn't here last week. I'm sorry to have missed you. But we had our first week of school. So in my personal life, we're getting used to a new sleep schedule. We're getting used to a new school district. So far, everything seems great though. So I'm happy to be back with you now. There is a really interesting thing happening in my author life, and it involves an event, and I'm not going to name the event yet because this is still all in progress, but if you are in the author community, you may have noticed this year has been awful for signing events. It's like they're imploding all around us with bad actors and false advertisements and all sorts of things, and I don't necessarily think that my situation falls into something like that. However, we were supposed to have this event in February coming up, and the venue, so I can only know what I'm being told, but the venue wanted to charge 3 times the amount in their agreement, and so the person managing this event pulled out, and she's been trying to find a replacement for the venue, but this has not, it's been a rocky road, okay? And now they're offering to host an event in a different city in 2028. So a long time from now in a different city, and it may be a 1-day show instead of a 3-day event, and there's no option for refunds. So like I said, I don't know how this is going to go down. My hope is that they will simply be reasonable because so much of the terms of this has changed. It's clearly a new and different event completely. And I have moved away from the area even, so I'm hoping that I can just get a refund and peace out and it won't become a big deal, but I will try to keep you in touch. Just so you know, right, if you're ever going to participate in one of these events as a vendor, like educational, because stuff like this does happen. Anyway, I have some unsolicited author advice for you this week, and it's related to my background. You may have noticed I did some painting these last couple of weeks and tried to just arrange things a little nicer, and this is important. Now, this may not apply to all authors, but for people like me who are constantly engaging in social media and going on podcasts and doing this and being on camera, you really owe it to yourself to think about what's behind you. I learned that because I worked from home for Apple for a very long time, and it was important to have your background look nice. So, you know, what that means according to you, you figure that out. But I would say it would need to be clean, interesting but not distracting, because you're the star of the show, right? And if it reflects you in some way, then that's bonus. Now, on to HOA of Horrors, coming along great, and I did bring some lines for you to vote on, so you can tell me which is your favorite line of this week in Vote Your WIP. All right, so we've got 3 today, and we'll start off with, she would have to plan Frankie's funeral. There was no way she would bear this news without dying. 2, Finn mouthed the name without saying it and closed his eyes as if in prayer. Mabel could sense that it was a prayer that he too wouldn't howl himself to tears from the way that his lips pressed so firmly together. And 3, Mabel wasn't old or confused. She was young and feisty and funny and free and stunning, and he needed to stop thinking about Mabel. Let me know which is your favorite. If you have any questions, hit me up. And if you enjoyed my little author vlog, give me a follow. I'll see you next time.